What the fuck is up, man? Listen, I am back. You know what I'm saying? I'm motherfucking back in this bitch, man. And I got some shit to talk about. Last time I tried to do this motherfucking podcast, man, motherfuckers play with my emotions and shit. So I got some different shit for you niggas, man. I'm gonna do this shit the right way. I'm gonna do this shit my way. I'm gonna do this shit so I don't need a guest. But when I do get a motherfucking guest, man, I'm gonna be so thankful for them because I do have Miss TeraMichelle in this bitch to give me some of her motherfucking knowledge, man. This lady is very, very smart, man. So what's going on, Miss Tara? And what you got going on before we get into this show?
I'm just chilling. I'm coasting. I'm not supposed to be doing any podcasts in December. You know, this is my month, and my month alone. And
I'm gonna let you keep going. I ain't gonna interrupt you.
but when you asked me finally after a year, to be on your show, I knew I had to do it. So, December 1st, here we are.
Man, you know what? I thank you. I really do. I thank you for your time, and I thank you for coming on my first show back for a minute, my whole revamp, type situation. And yes, I was supposed to do it, but you know what? I was seeing you go so hard with the podcast and it being on so many, had so much going on. I ain't want to, So when I came back, I'm like, you know what? Let me ask her, man. And we had just did a show prior where we talked, and I was like, you know what? When I come back, I'm gonna ask you. So I felt more comfortable asking you this trick.
Well, I'm glad you did. Thank you.
Man, for sure, man. And you got all them perfumes going on back there, man. What you do, man? What can people get out of you with all them perfumes,
man? You can find me on YouTube at Opinionated Scents, and that's SCENTS, like scents, like fragrance. I'm also on Instagram, opinionated_scents. And of course, I have my own podcast, One Man and One Woman, the podcast that I do, of course, with Flan. So, on all platforms.
Is that your own podcast, or is that?
Well, it's ours. It's ours. It's ours.
You have your own podcast, so that's what I heard.
Meaning separate from yours. Don't do that. Meaning separate from anything you've ever seen me on. That's something that we don't have guests. You can't be on that one.
So I can't even come through?
No. And if I had to let anybody on, I have to let Smash on first because he's asked 2.1 million times. So I'm just gonna sit in the cut and mind my business.
Shout out kid, man. But that's crazy though, man. I'm Flan do got a podcast though, right? Or
he does. He does. What is TWS? Yes.
What is TWS, man? Shout out to Flan and what is TWS as well, man. I remember I was watching it for a minute. I hadn't seen it for a second, but he used to talk a lot of like knowledgeable things, man. Things that people should definitely understand or think about, So shout out to him and his podcast. What is TWS, right?
Yes, what is TWS?
So, man, look, we got some segments that we're gonna do here today. I want you to join along with me. I'm going to be doing this a lot. This first segment the segments are so you don't be them side.
I'm so nervous. You are so crazy that I don't know what to expect. And I'm over here like about to start sweating. Oh God. Okay, come on, let's go.
You know what? We're just gonna do it segment by segment. We're gonna let each segment be a surprise. You feel me? We're gonna let each one be a surprise, man. But our first segment of the day, man, we're gonna talk some politically incorrect shit, man. Okay. So would you like me to start, or would you like to start about something that you feel like is too politically correct that you just like, fuck that, man, fuck that?
No, because I have over 10,000 subscribers and they might come across this, so I'm gonna be good. You start.
All right. So I'm gonna use something that I seen that kind of like, I don't know. I kind of felt it. I don't know how to feel about this, but on one side, I'm gonna tell you both sides. All right. So what happened was Drewski. Are you aware of Drewski?
No.
Okay. Well, Drewski is a comedian / pretty much a comedian, entertaining type dude. You know what I'm saying? Then are you aware of this little young dude named Kai? Shenanigans?
Is he the dancing dude and people be going on his show and stuff like Nicki Minaj and BDG and them? Okay, yes, I know who he is.
Yeah. So Drewski was on his show. He doing some old crazy subathon or whatever like that. Drewski was on his show. I guess they was eating Thanksgiving dinner or something crazy. And he looked at the little kid. It was like, hey, little fat nigga, pass me the sword or something. Like he asked him for something, right? So his excuse that he said it was like, why is the little nigga crying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all been calling me fat all night. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got mad. Like, how y'all go? Like, so publicly, people are saying that he was wrong for doing that.
This is a kid he called fat.
He's about 19.
Oh, that's sad.
What's your thoughts on that?
Okay, so I will start off by saying that I have a great sense of humor. I love to laugh, I do. But there are certain people who are off limits to me, and kids is one of them. You know, we have too many kids out here unaliving themselves because they get talked about and they get, so at school, I don't know what this little kid is going through. But when he's at home for Thanksgiving, he shouldn't have to deal with that. Especially not when somebody's recording it. Like that's out there for the world to see. You know this little boy now because he got called little fat dude and told us. I think I don't do that with kids. I don't like it.
Now, all in all, he did end up apologizing, but I could from that perspective, especially when you said like
It wasn't
kids.
just at home. It wasn't just in the privacy of their own home. We all can go and see this somewhere now.
For sure. Well, you know what? I think other than the live stream, unless somebody like somebody recorded it or something like that,
Which they always do.
Yeah, if they didn't record it, which they like you said they always do. If they did, and that's the only real way that you because I think for the actual show when they actually put the actual show out, they took that part out or whatever. They did put the part in there where he was apologizing or whatever.
Good.
But I say that I brought that up because that is like a little big thing going on as far as Drewski go. He wanted like to chop up next comedians or whatever, and I'm just wondering. It's like is it too much sensitivity going on?
Yes. Taking kids out of that. He's too young. Like, if you just said he was 16 or something like that, maybe, but 9. But I think the comedic world, like for real comedians and when they're doing their stand-up, not skits with people who didn't ask to be involved, I think it should be off limits. I think comedy, especially if you are an equal opportunity offender, if you're talking about everybody, then comedy should be off limits. And yeah, I think we are really, really sensitive in this day and age. Like we grew up joning and doing all of that, and we built tough skins. These kids now,
Joning is roasting, baking, talking about other people.
oh yeah, I'm sorry. That's that St. Louis, that St. Louis slang. I don't know what they call it everywhere else, but yeah, nowadays, if you tell somebody you don't like their shoes, they ready to go jump head first off of something. So I do think that we are creating really soft individuals these days.
But as far as like 10, 9.
What
you say the highest age a kid can get baked? Because I'm just saying, like, if a little kid come up to me and be like you missing a tooth, like that shit, like,
oh my god. Well, listen, they don't know any better. You might be the only person they know with a gap. So here's the thing. If we're talking in the privacy of your own home, I think you should be raising your kids like that, playing around, joking around, so they have a great sense of humor, so they build a thick skin. So when they go to school, if somebody's joning on them or bullying them, it doesn't hurt as much. But when you're talking about putting somebody on TV or YouTube with millions of people, like I said, old enough to be able to consent to it. Other than that, they too young.
You big enough to throw them, you big enough to take a pause.
But here's the thing. If a kid walked up to you and said to you, you missing a tooth, they may have never seen someone with a gap before. That is not them trying to flame you.
I don't know, man. These parents be baking these kids at home, bro. They bring that shit outside, bro. I don't know, bro.
Then you should be able to know the difference. You should know if they coming for you. But still, why you gotta record it?
It don't be
shame them out their soul without recording it.
Fuck that. Them kids need to get baked, nigga, and get some goddamn. Listen, this is my problem, right? I'm goddamn tired of motherfucking second place, third place, fourth place children getting fucking sprinkles on the ice cream and shit. You shouldn't even be getting no ice cream unless you got first motherfucking place. But no, everybody's a winner. Everybody didn't win. When you looked at the score was 50-3. How the fuck is everybody goddamn winning?
Yes. I agree. The participation trophies are a bad idea because now you have the kids that grow up and the first time they're ever told no, they go and pop up the school or the movie theater. Like they're not learning that the world is hard and sometimes you get kicked down and you got to pull yourself back up. So we are creating monsters in that realm.
Amen. Well, let me ask you this question, man. Do you think offended or if a person is offended automatically means that they're right?
No, a lot of times you're offended because you're wrong. Or a lot of times you're offended because there's some truth in it. They say a hit dog will holler. So a lot of times if somebody comes at you with something, it hurt a little bit if you know it fits you and you want to automatically be defensive. So no, it does not
Because
make you right because you're offended.
with this whole cancel culture situation and saying the wrong things and all that, like I said, we politically incorrect. And motherfucker might say, nigga, no, I don't want my motherfucking son doing this, that, and the other. I'm gonna try and keep it teen at least. But yeah, so it's like at that point, it's like if I say that I'm wrong. Like I seen a video of this dude who it was some dudes in the living room dancing. He walked out like he didn't want to. They instantly throw the tag on him. He don't he homophobic.
Homophobic.
Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like I gotta like it. Like I gotta like like what the fuck? What are we saying here? Like, you know what I'm saying? What we doing?
We have to stop that too. To be honest, first of all, the word homophobic itself, I have a problem with. Nobody's scared of gay people. First, the stop.
That's what a
It's not a
phobia was.
phobia. Exactly. It's
Right.
not a phobia. You may not get down with it for religious beliefs or just because it disgusts you. Like I can understand how a heterosexual male would not want to see two gay dudes slobbing each other down. That is just because it's foreign to him and because he would never be attractive to, you know what I'm saying, a man. He don't want to see that. So if you're somebody who comes up and you just think that sitting in the room watching dudes gyrate and do the stump the yard shaking, like, come on, like, yeah, I'm leaving. And you have a right to do that. It doesn't mean that you're telling them to stop or you're hating on them or you're doing anything. You're just removing yourself from a situation that makes you uncomfortable. We have a right to do that. I don't have to accept your lifestyle or how you live your life. I just shouldn't harm you because of it. That's the thing. But I can remove myself if I'm uncomfortable.
I don't talk about crackheads, but you don't catch me in a whole bunch of houses. You know what I'm saying? Chilling with them. And I ain't gonna sit here and tell my son to be one or not be one. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be a crackhead. Am I being offensive? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I guess
you can't have an opinion these days. If your opinion isn't in full agreement with certain things, then you're anti that. And that's not fair because I can be totally fine with you as a person and be your friend and everything else and still not want to live my life like you or even appreciate or accept the way that you live your life. But we don't have to have that conversation either. I can be respectful and not agree with what you're doing or what you're saying.
No, that's a fact. And sorry to the people in the comments. My comments not popping up over here for some reason. I don't know. Let me see if I can get them. But while we doing that, regardless, before we end this politically incorrect segment, I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna end it with this question. Do you think that honesty? So let's quote honesty. Do you think that honesty could become illegal? Excuse me.
I hope so. Well, I'm gonna put it to you like this. If you're not honest, like if you start lying, if you can be held up, on charges for lying, is that what you mean?
Mm-hmm.
I hope so, because I want to hold somebody to something they told me so bad. But it depends on what it is. Like if you agree to be a surrogate for somebody, and then once you're impregnated, decide to keep the baby and run off, like yes, there should be charges. If you openly tell somebody something that's is not true and it causes them harm, I think you should be held liable for that. If a girl walks into your apartment and says, you don't have any cameras in here, do you? And you say, no, I would never record you, and then y'all do all kinds of wild and crazy things and you recorded her, yes, then you should be held liable for that lie. But I think for me as a person, I think honesty is the number one thing when you're dealing with people. I do not like being lied to. I don't like having promises broken to me. Don't tell me things that you don't really mean. It's very simple. If that's not how you feel, then don't say it. It's super, easy to just be an honest person. Because especially when you're an adult, who gonna whip my ass? If I come, and I'm not saying I'm the baddest chick in the world, I can't be, I ain't gonna go fight no UFC fighter or nothing like that. But what I'm saying is, if I messed up, if I made a mistake, if I, whatever, and I come to you and I say, yeah, my bad, I forgot to do this or something like that, then nobody's going to whoop me for that. So why would I lie? But if I tell you something, if I come to you and I tell you something, boom, if I tell you something, what you can bet your life on is that I mean what I say and I said what I meant. I'm not going to lie to you because I just don't rock like that.
No, so I am definitely a person who I won't speak on what Tara said to me, um, unless it's like, you know what I'm saying. I told Tara to show up at 8:30, and then boom, when I talk to somebody else, I'm like, yeah, I had told Tara to show up at 8:30. But if we sitting here having a real conversation, no, that conversation would never like, you know what I'm saying, come out unless it was already came out, and I felt like hold on, bro, that's definitely a lot of the story, but that ain't how it went. Like, I know it definitely because I didn't say it, and it was only me and her, so obviously somebody know about it, so she obviously said something. But other than that, yeah, I do think that honesty could become illegal
Not
because
honesty, because you cannot lock people up for telling the truth. You mean being dishonest.
no, I really mean honesty.
You
Listen,
mean that if you tell the truth, it can become a crime.
because if I'm telling you that I don't want my son like this, I'm being honest. Now
Oh,
I'm being authentic.
Jesus
Now I'm
Christ,
being now I'm
Lord, I
being
knew it was coming. Baby,
now
let me
I'm
tell
being
you something. Boom, I'm gonna tell you the honest to God truth, baby. The way things work in your head, I don't understand how you could live in there. I would have to move out of my own brain. I cannot believe it's what you was talking about, but okay, you got it. You got it.
I knew you went somewhere else, and yes, you correct. Listen, I don't want nobody lying to me. I don't want nobody, but when we talking about offensive, when we talking about people feeling offensive or offended, excuse me, or feeling, sensitive about certain situations or how people feel, you know what I'm saying? And you have to be honest about it. A lot of people out here right now is tripping off of not being able to be honest about how they feel. They doing other things because they can't be honest about that what they feel like. You know what I'm saying? So I do think that honesty could become illegal because you could say some things. Hey, I don't like a person eating this much, or I don't think you should eat like that. I mean, it could be anything. You know what I'm saying? But let's go ahead and get out this politically incorrect segment. Hey. We got some news going on right now, man. News if you give a fuck. You feel me? Listen, man. One of the big major news situations that's going on in our community, which I don't understand, and we really gonna get into some real shit, but I gotta get this out the way because I just need niggas to understand this bullshit that's going on. We got Drake suing UMG over allegations of them driving up Kendrick's "Not Like Us" song. Oh man, if that ain't the most whitest side of your family,
Listen, you said it. You said it. And you go and you do something like that and you prove what he said. You not like us. Like we don't who moves like that. In the history of all of the battles, who does that? Nobody but Aubrey. Nobody but Aubrey. So he got
because
it.
I mean the Phoenix Accord should be, what I'm saying, going crazy, you know what I'm saying, and Biggie's mama, you know what I'm saying about that, like shit like that. So Eminem and whatever dude's name, all them man. But anyways, yeah. So I just wanted to throw that out there, you know what I'm saying. That nigga on some bullshit. I get it. They said every time you type in certified lover boy, I guess that's what it is. Albums. It was not
But
like
you
us.
know what? I truly feel like he's done this before. I think the monster did that for him. I think the reason that Aubrey is as huge as he is plays a big part of that is because they pushed him like that. So of course he would know what it looked like when it's being done. And I'm not saying that Kendrick, I've never typed in play some Drake or any part of a Drake song in my life. This is long before their little battle beef. I ain't never been a fan of light skinned dudes. I know that's terrible, but I'm being honest. They act. The ones I've come in contact with act like he's acting right now. Like you gotta cater to them, and if it don't go their way, they fit a whine and throw up. But I'm not doing this with Aubrey. I'm just not.
No, when they
So
showed
I
us the
couldn't tell you
video,
if it was true. I don't know.
when they showed us the video of him crying to his mom about a sandwich, bro, I was just like, yeah.
I mean, that's the dude from what is it, Degrassi? Like, come on, man. I'm not. And he's supposed to come in and be of the culture. No. But he and Eminem are both the biggest selling rappers in the world, I do believe, most successful commercially, and they're not of the culture. So I mean, it is what it is.
I throw Eminem a little bit of slack until I found out about the words he was using about black women, and I had thrown him some slack because he was broke like us,
Let me exactly. Let me ask you a question. How many times have you used the same words about black women? So he can't say it because he white.
It wasn't.
I'm not gonna knock him for that because that might have been his experience.
I gotta knock him because you know, if we don't got shit, and we really don't need to use that, but we don't got shit. Like, we don't got shit as it is. Like, y'all can't have that. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, he shouldn't have said it. But what I'm saying is he's not gonna be canceled because he did something when he was young and dumb. Is he still
No, we
doing it
ain't gonna catch
today?
him. I don't think that
Then
we can catch him.
yeah. We give
Do
him a
you do
pass. I never gave Aubrey a pass. He can stay right on over there in Canada where he belongs.
do you agree with Kendrick on Gary Owens?
What did
No.
Kendrick say about Gary Owen, the white comedian?
Yeah, I say you talk about him.
Oh, when he said he's not supposed to talk about black women.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's my thing. The only women he dates or marries or procreates with are black women. Gary Owen more loyal to black women than some black men, than a lot of black men. So I don't know what he said, but he's a comedian. I mean,
think you're looking at it.
we didn't moan and groan when he was praising us, when he was bigging us up and talking about he could never date a white girl. And I bet them white women felt
Doing
a
all the black
way.
movies, doing all the black movies. All the
Yeah.
black
So now we can. I don't have a problem with Gary Owen. I'm not doing that.
We can't do it like that. All right, a little bit more news, man. We're gonna go a little bit off of planet Earth a little bit, man.
That's
So
where
have you
you
been?
live.
You know I live out there, man. I love it. I'm finna get a whole bunch of like stars and shit and put them around my ceilings and the planets and shit, all that shit, man. I'm finna fuck this house up.
You got a black light?
Huh? Yep. Well, no, that's a RGB light. It changed
You
colors.
get you put all those stickers up there that glow in the dark, and then get you a black light, baby. Let me tell you something. Ooh, I can tell you
It's
some
going
things about
crazy,
decorating,
huh?
baby.
It's going crazy. I'm gonna give me some planets too. We're gonna fuck around in this month. But yeah, so look, let's go out of space right quick. So how you been keeping up with the UFO situation in the government?
Lord, no.
Hey, so where was you the first time you heard that the government was like aliens are real and shit?
I probably was a kid, and I heard real life people saying stuff like that. Like,
They just
when you
said this
hear
like
about,
6-7 years ago.
I mean, when you see the monuments or you see the ruins at Machu Picchu and places like that, look at those heads. Those are not humanoid type of heads. So I've always thought that there was. Why would you just leave it to a human being to think they the only was the intelligent life out there? I swear to goodness. However, I do believe the way that the pyramids were built. When you hear about how the sun touches this point and all the things they do, and we couldn't even explain that, who did it then? Who did it then? So I've always believed there was,
Type of
other life
technology that they
forms.
have, and then you sit back and think about it, like nigga, the iPhone always really been here since day one. Is just we just didn't know how to put it together, I guess. You know what I'm saying? All the shit that they
And now you didn't jump off the.
no. So look, so listen. If we talking about putting up pyramids, the pyramids are like in the direct spots of the sun or however the sun hits and stuff like that. And then we talking about how did they move this stuff, how do they transfer these minerals and pieces over here and there and that. And then you start to think about it like, nigga, there couldn't have been no way that we created Wi-Fi. Like the shit that makes Wi-Fi already had to be here. So what's not to say that they wasn't using it back then? We just don't know. Like, you know what I'm
So you
saying?
think they was talking to each other on iPhones back then?
I don't think it was an iPhone. I mean, it might not have been the exact name as an iPhone, but what I think is what goes around comes around. And I think that this bitch just keep resetting. Honestly, that's my personal thoughts. Like, I think that this bitch get to a certain point, something happened, it reset, motherfucker start over again. I think I
You know
really
what?
do, bro.
I almost, well, look, they need to reset again, and we need to be back in charge because I'm tired. I ain't gonna hold you, but I do know some children. I've come across some brand new babies. I'm talking about 1-2-year-olds who knew things they should not know. You know what I'm saying? We've heard stories about kids, going into a room, babies that are like, 1 years old, going into a room and talking to somebody and telling you, I'm talking to the man that's in that picture. And that's the great, great, great granddad who ain't been here. So I do, I'm a Christian, non-denominational Christian, and I believe in heaven and hell. But then I hang out with some of my Native American friends. I hang out with some of my Indian, especially my Indian friends who are Hindu. And I'm like, man, reincarnation. You go back to the hieroglyphs, and they're talking about these things, single gods and multi gods, and all of it feels like, look, if you're just being a good human being, I don't really care what you call it. But I don't know. It's so much I don't know that I wish I did. It's very fascinating.
Well, listen, I would love to get into religion with you. I'm gonna have to have you next year. Pause on. I mean, excuse me. On. I'm gonna have to have you on next year, sometime another man, so we could talk about. So we could talk about religion. I ain't gonna, because we could talk about that all motherfucking night, right?
Yeah, we could.
But But pretty much, okay. So the UFOs, pretty much what they saying are announced. The government announced that UFOs are coming out of the ocean. Um,
Oh, it's time. Is Aquaman there? Please tell me he is.
she's so silly as
Woo,
I
and tell me it's really Jason Momoa. Lord have mercy. Okay, go ahead.
But to go into the religion aspect of it, man, with you being, you said a Christian, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now I believe in God, and I've done a lot of research. Obviously, born in the Christian family, so I know a lot about the Christian. But I don't denounce it or like say that it's wrong or anything. I know a lot about it. But one thing I do know is that at one point in time, there were a time where the devil decided he wanted to leave or take over heaven, and God kicked him out. Some angels left with him, whatever. We can go through that story later, but pretty much, if you ask me, those aliens, because God flooded the earth, all these giants, angels, all this shit, like it sound like the niggas waking up, like what I'm saying. If you ask me, it sounds like the niggas waking up. You got these leviathans and big ass animals and shit. They out there trying to blow shit up in the ocean and shit, man. So, by them telling us this, it's like I don't know if they getting us prepared for something or what what they own, but they definitely announced that these motherfuckers is
I
coming out of the
mean, you could be correct. It could be that they know that there's something they could. First of all, somebody may have already found something out and have absolute proof, and they could go worldwide with it. Or it could be because they expect something coming. You know, it could be Godzilla for all we freaking know. Like a lot of these
Hey,
movies and these stories really do come from some of these hieroglyphs. These stories that are marked into these places are saying this is what happened, and now we've figured out. Okay, they wake up every such and such. This might be their time. I don't know. I know I like the rhythm of Black people. And when I say that, I mean this. If I'm outside right now and a Black person starts running down the street, you know what I'm doing? We
really?
running. I will find out 10 miles down the damn road what we running for. Okay. But I'm leaving with you. Like and that's what we do. So if something hop out that ocean, if something hops up out the sky, we gonna get gone and figure it out later. I'm not worried for us at all. We are very resilient people.
I don't think I'm gonna run, man. I watched this show called
On
Three Body.
Netflix.
Yeah, man. It ain't gonna be nowhere to motherfucking run fucking with them, because if they do come or if they already here, you know what I'm saying, nigga, they know a lot more than us. So I don't think it's gonna be too more.
But you know what? If they do come, I think I'm hoping it's going to be to get rid of the people who mean no good for other human beings and no good for the earth. If they
Shit.
come down here and save us from that, I think we'll be okay.
Hell no, because if they come save us from that, they might do us worse. Like, all right, now we got them niggas out the way. Listen up, hoe ass niggas.
Or what if they don't, though? I
What
think
if they don't?
we gotta stop taking the negative look at everything. They could
It'll
be
be on
down
some
here
positive
because
shit.
they might have started this. If they came down here
Amen.
and helped us set up civilization and they come back like, whoa, what's this? Why
Amen.
are the people who are, because according to the Bible, if we're in God's image, that's us. Those are
Amen.
melanated people. So
Amen.
what is this? How are you guys enslaved? What is this prison, this private prison, industrial? What we doing? So
I like that.
I choose to take the positive route.
I mean, so then we not running. Then we still gonna stand around.
No, no,
Now
no.
listen.
I just meant that if I'm not talking about running from them. I just mean that you look at any video, if a person starts running down the street, white people go in the direction that they running from to figure it
Mhm,
out.
mhm.
We are going to get the hell up out of Dodge until we figure out what's going on.
We out of there.
So
Amen.
yeah.
Amen.
But if you come in on a UFO, what are we running to? Unless I don't have an underground bunker. I mean, what are we doing?
I'm on the path to build one, and then we about to, me and my people about to
Exactly. I have a whole bunch of friends who are doomsday preppers. No joke. I
man.
got some groups on Signal and some other things that can't be traced. I'm that chick.
Hey, my great grandkids gonna be ready if anything, man. But I'm gonna
Right.
prep. Fuck it. Nigga, if nothing happen in my lifetime, nigga, something gonna happen. They gonna be out here prepping for that. Listen though. But so SpaceX has a $256 billion mission to travel to the moon, to a moon of Saturn, to search for alien life in 2028.
They gonna find it too, and then they ain't gonna come back.
$256 billion.
Mm-hmm.
They said it only take like 10 billion to end world hunger.
But that's the problem though. And I don't think that they're going to find alien life. They probably have seen something and want to go investigate it because it's got something to do with, the eternal life elixir or something stupid like that. The type of people with that type of money are looking for something to make us more powerful because right now, contrary to popular belief, we are not the big bad anymore. China is more powerful than we are. But you can't tell people that because they
You
just
tell
so
people that
convinced.
shit. You can't
They
say
so
bricks.
convinced. Exactly.
They say
They
bricks
so
at all.
convinced. So I don't know if I believe it's just to go find alien life or if it's, because they, are trying to find a place to live because they know what they're doing to the earth. Like I said, if we go to war with China, we go to war with Russia or some of these other people, even if we can shoot their nukes out of the sky, the damage to the ozone
Radiation.
layer, to the air and all of that is
Mhm,
catastrophic. So
mhm.
maybe because they know they're up to no good, they're looking for another place to land when they blow this one up.
Well, while we're talking about China, China is also part of the news. China is to give all of his employees unhappiness leave of up to 10 days for 10 days a year.
You said China is going to give their employees 10
Whitey on
days a year for unhappiness time.
still relevant. Whitey on the moon. Yeah, so they pretty much, how you get sick leave.
Oh, yes, I understood what you meant.
You're gonna get unhappiness leave. So if you ain't feeling good or you feeling sad, we just gonna let you go home that day and you get
Well,
paid.
I love it because I think that we should have mental health days. I think we should have all, and I think they should be unlimited.
Niggas gonna be off all year. Niggas gonna be off 6 months a year, my nigga.
I ain't gonna hold you though, but you know what? When you look at the stats, the depression rates, the mental health rates, these, like I said, the unaliving themselves, there is some serious stuff going on here. So I think if we care about our people, we should build those things in. But I think they're calling it FMLA. I think with FMLA, if you have a doctor or a therapist that says you need to be out, then that's when you can do that. But
I think a nigga should get like 60 days max. Like, maybe, and that's pushing it. 45, like 45 max, 25 minimum to
I
just
would
be
I
off
would definitely I would say 60 because like so that's like
2 months out the year.
yeah, but isn't that so? There's 12. What's is that? Am I right? 5 times 12 is 60, right? I
Mm-hmm.
believe so. I believe mine is
Yeah,
correct.
you're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
so 5 days a month. Yes.
5 days a month, you can just call out. This Friday, every Friday, ain't no job gonna be open.
I mean, I'd be taking Mondays off. I ain't gonna hold
You
you because
said
I feel like people
Monday.
be pissed.
Okay.
Yeah, people be pissed about the weekend be over and they just be on some other stuff. But here's the thing. I think there should be strict guidelines. You can have up to 60 days off for this that do not include your sick time, your PTO, your vacation. But you still got to stay up on your work. You can't just be calling off and then behind, and your coworkers got to do your work. There got to be some strict stipulations. You still have to meet your quota of whatever, 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 but you can still get this time. Now I could rock with something like that. I feel like if you give your employees rest, you give them something to boost the morale, you keep them mentally stable, you get the best production out of them. They're going to be very productive for you.
No, I had a job out here. It was called Consumer Cellular. Them cell phones you sell to old people and shit. Um,
Not see, look at you, old
I
people.
mean, it wasn't just old people, but mainly that's the only people that's not using this shit. But what they would do is they gave us 40-hour weeks, but they gave us 32-hour weeks. So it would be like Monday. You could choose Wednesday or Thursday to be off. But if you work that day, then you got like time and a half. So you could either work 32 hours or work that day and get time and a half for that day. So I thought that was cool because I know if I was working the next week or not, like, oh, I'm gonna just take that day off or whatever. So
Yeah.
I thought that definitely was a cool little mental trip right there.
But that's a nice starting place. I think the minimum should be 12. Give me at least one day a month.
One day, that's
That,
dope. That
that
would be dope
10
that you could
leaves
just
me,
pick.
yeah, that 10 leaves me flagged. And I mean, I gotta actually show up here every day of 2 whole months.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that though. At least one day a month though. Yeah, for sure, man. Niggas get washed out, whatever, So
Yeah.
definitely. Side note, for $1 million,
Oh,
um,
Lord.
excuse me, for $100 million,
Mm.
would you be hated by everyone for a whole year to get the $100 million, or would you want to be wanted by like America, the government, for a whole year? And if you get caught, you go to jail. So for the whole year of being hated, I'm talking about everybody hate you, fuck you, all the offensive words, all that for a whole year. But then if you make it through that without crying, you get the 100 million. Or
Now you're gonna keep adding stuff. Now I can't cry. Okay.
no,
If
you
I
can
can't,
cry, but you
I feel
can't
the
cry
same.
your way out of it. Like, okay, stop. You can't cry your way out of it. Like, you can cry if
Um,
you want. You just can't cry your way out of it.
okay. I know a lot of people who could hide me very well. I ain't getting caught by the cops. Promise you. So I'm gonna go with being wanted for a year, and if I get caught going to jail, because even if I go to jail, I think I seen Orange is the New Black. Now let me stop playing. But I know a lot of people who've been in prison. I know how to keep my head down. Luckily, I'm a girl, so there's a
Don't go in
lot
there and get
less.
pregnant.
Yeah, there's
That's
but
something that
there's a lot
kids do.
less. Anal things that can happen to you when you're a girl. Men have that's dropping the soap is a really big thing. But for me, I don't want to be hated.
I can
Like
relate.
it unless I don't care for you either, it really bothers me. But I would just be so devastated if nobody in the world at all on the planet liked me. And it's not like I couldn't do that. I'm too sensitive for that.
I couldn't do that. All right. Well, man, I just wanted to know your opinion on that. Me personally, I probably would be hated for the whole year because I just not for
Again, the risk of you going to jail, you have a lot more to worry about than I do.
nah, that right. Yeah, I'm definitely you're right. That definitely is it. Nah, so we're gonna move on to wacky conspiracy theories,
You
man.
believe all of them, don't you?
I don't, but I know some of them are true though, man. And you know what's crazy? I think you're gonna believe some of these as well.
I'm sure because most of the time they're true, like 9/11. But I'm not even gonna go there because people get real sensitive.
You know, that's gonna be one of them for my next show, but I don't mind talking about it this show because I will like to know your idea on that. But have you ever heard of the Montauk Project?
The who?
Montauk Project.
No.
Montoak.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, have you ever watched the show Stranger Things?
Of course. 11? I want to be 11 so bad.
I'm glad you said her because the Montauk Project is pretty much Stranger Things, like word for word. Like the whole having them like how she was in the rooms with all the other kids. She had one
Mhm.
crazy that area with them playing with the kids' minds and all that. Like
Yeah.
that was a real thing that happened. It's so pretty much what they trying to say is because then you take this and then you include CERN because have you heard about CERN and
Yeah.
Geneva and their particle accelerator? Okay, so then if you looking at Stranger Things and you see how that particle accelerator, which broke open some type of cave, which is how they went into the underworld or whatever and shit
Mhm.
like that. So conspiracy have is that that shit is real. We keep on transferring different timelines and crazy shit is happening. This is why we're seeing aliens come out the ocean and all that is because of things like the movie Stranger Things, which pretty much is the Montauk Project. How do you feel about that? You think it's real? You
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know if it's real or not, but I wouldn't put it past us. There are a lot of things that we know how to do, like the weather machines that are creating all these storms. Like this stuff is not naturally happening all the time. It's not a natural occurrence all the time. The government has come out and said that the reason I think we do most of the things that we do is because we're trying to weaponize things. We want to hurt other people to stay in power. Why else would you be out here trying to figure out how to make tornadoes and stuff like that? So, is there something that we could do to trigger some things like Lucy? Maybe they say that we only use 10% of our brains.
I heard
What
that
the
was
hell? What could we? What did we used to be able to do if we could, or what could we do if we could do 100? You know what I'm
because what they
saying?
were
I'm
saying like
not so
12% you could bend the spoon or some shit, something
look.
crazy.
I'm not so close-minded to think that something like that couldn't be what they're working towards, or they couldn't be in there working trying to unlock what we used to have. So I don't know that it's true. I'm not seeking to find out if it's true, but it's an interesting situation. And what's the end? If that's what we're doing, what's your end goal? Again, to create soldiers who can do stuff with their minds. It's none of it's good. I don't think torturing kids and kidnapping kids and forcing them to do stuff is never going to be okay.
And you keep on hitting key points because I have another conspiracy since you said create soldiers and clone them. Well, I don't think you said clone. I think you just said create soldiers and use them. Um, but yeah, so they are saying that we are getting cloned replicas, which are like the Gucci's, the um,
You talking about Gucci Mane?
yeah,
I'm
the
not.
Kodak like.
See, this is when you
But
get no.
but Elon Musk and Trump are supposed to be doing the AI takeover. We got Neuralink. Boom into okay,
Listen, I don't put that past anything. Like when they started talking about
my
they were
nigga.
gonna make a chip. They were gonna make us all get a chip, and that's how you would access your bank account, how you go grocery shopping and stuff. That's the
They already
mark of the
doing that
beast.
in Texas.
That's the mark of the beast, baby. I'm not playing with y'all. I will be out here bartering for eggs and stuff. I'm not y'all not putting no chip in me. I'm not doing it. But
We
all
got
of
to
this
get the
stuff,
land first, though.
there are there's so many parts of these things that sound like they could be real, to be honest. Even with the slipping in and out of timelines, man, we deja vu. People are talking about how often they get deja vu now, like so much more than they ever used to. It could be. We got 400 million doppelgangers out here at this point. I can't go somewhere with somebody without them swearing up and down they've seen that same person 200 times and it's never the same person. So we
They
could
be
be
saying
messing
like
with stuff.
they be saying like some of the people, some of our stars is old people never died and shit, bringing up old ass pictures from some AI pictures and shit like that. But
But
no,
the
man,
AI thing does scare me. AI does scare me. I'm not really a fan of it. I know it's coming. As I was told by somebody so eloquently, if you know it's coming and there's nothing you can do about it, maybe you should learn more about it to be able to
prepare.
utilize it or prevent some things or do whatever, so you're not in the dark. I've seen the Terminator. I've seen all of them. I'm not
I
interested in what
robot.
Skynet has in store for us at all, or iRobot or anything
Skynet.
else.
Skynet is a real thing, people. Y'all need to be careful with that too. That is a real thing.
I'm not
Um,
interested in any of it, and I definitely don't want a robot to make love to me. That is the sickest. I cannot. It's already bad enough that people got the blow up dolls, but to think about
I'm
no.
getting me a Tesla robot. I am. I'm not getting a chip, but I'm gonna get me a robot.
Do you know how much those things are gonna cost? And do what? I know. No, don't answer what you're gonna do to it. That's not what I meant.
I'm not gonna hump on
Yeah,
it,
no.
man. But he said, I'm gonna survive. You know how many species of the planet that are out there for the body? Don't get me started.
You said you're gonna hump on it. Is that what you said?
He said, no, I'm not gonna hump on it. He said, I'm gonna
Ah,
survive. You know how many species of plants that are out there for the body? Don't get me started. Yeah, man, but they already got all the land took. You know what I'm saying? They already got control of all this shit, man. You got to fly you somewhere out there, to a whole other country, bro, because American land
I
gone,
mean,
bro.
but what happens if AI takes over? They create these robots. We got an Ultron iRobot situation. To what end? To kill all human beings because we're no longer needed? Or will we really be just sitting up in the house with the government paying all our bills and buying all of our food? Like, to what end, though? What is the point?
I mean, if you ask me, I don't know, but don't give me a robot though, because nigga, I want one. Like I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna put the down payment on. I think they said it's 30, so that's only like what $3,000. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go to
What does
work.
it do? If you don't want it to be a companion, what will it do?
So one thing that it does do that I thought was cool that I'm not gonna let happen is they said it watches your kids and all that other shit. No, I ain't letting that happen. But
Oh my God.
but but you can get that motherfucker to clean. You can get that motherfucker to cook. Now listen, imagine if you could type in YouTube on your phone or your computer and send that recipe to your robot and have that motherfucker in there cooking for 8, 9, 10 hours, cutting the grass, my nigga, washing the walls, nigga, scrubbing the floors. You know what I'm saying? Um,
I ain't gonna hold
with
you. I think that if these Tesla robots can do that,
the-
I think that women are gonna be in trouble because I think that men are gonna be like, fuck yeah, for real. I ain't gonna hold you. I think that the men who really love the feel of a woman may still deal with them. That prostitution may be legalized everywhere for that sole benefit, and then men are gonna forego marriage unless they want to have kids, and
I
that
ain't gonna lie
robot
to you.
is gonna do it all.
That
That's scary
that
to me.
that silicone just right. We ain't
Oh
got to deal with no child support.
my God.
No. Silicone just right. I mean, they already got fake ass, you know what I'm saying? So it's like shit, that silicone just right. But look, let me go. He said with a robot, it would definitely be sex.
And then and
Right,
then
you
you
ain't
would
scared of
think
robots.
then you would be doing this stuff like, when the robots die out or when the grid falls or fails or whatever, nobody's going to know how to do anything. These 2, 3
Yeah, we
generations
gonna
from
be
now, they're
dumb
going
as
to be like,
fuck.
cut the grass. What's a
We gonna be dumb as
lawnmower?
fuck.
Like,
We gonna be some dumb motherfuckers.
yeah. So it's just so dangerous. I'm not a fan of any of it. I can cook and I can clean myself. Those are skills I want to pass down to my kids. I don't want to lose that, you know.
Well, before we get out of these conspiracy theories, man, you had touched on I think you said King Kong earlier. Did you say that or Godzilla? You said
Godzilla.
Godzilla. You say
Although
God.
I'm definitely Team King Kong. Do not play with me.
Shout out to King Kong, man. What's crazy is that was part of the conspiracy, one of the wacky conspiracy theories. Hollow Earth, uh,
Yes. Let's
ocean,
go.
oceans in the river, oceans inside of oceans, rivers inside of oceans, people under earth, whole another system, star system, goddamn China fighting shit, going in the holes that got whole ecosystem. Like, what the fuck is going on, Tara? What you think is going on?
I don't know if I believe any of that. I have no idea. But if they tell me that it's real and Kong is there, let's go. I just
Yes,
want to holler at him. I just
I
want to
mean, what
talk
if
to him
Kong is one of
once.
them niggas of the Bible though? One of them Lathian, whatever.
Well, yeah, I
Man.
definitely don't want to be involved with anything that's evil, but I just don't hear. I don't know. Like I said, nothing. I wouldn't be surprised by anything. But this is the type of person I am. If it's on the news or if somebody comes out with some video, like I'm not talking about these blurry Bigfoot. Look, stop playing with me. If you come and you say I've been here, I've done this, I'm definitely not gonna go. Oh, they're just a crackpot. I want to hear more, and I just want to have it here in my mind. So if I start to see some craziness, I am aware and not just running around clueless. But look, I'm such a fan of King Kong. Hey, I might risk it all. What we doing?
Why say come save me? Try to be Jane and shit. Look, man, listen. So that was our wacky conspiracy theories, man. I hope that was cool with you, man. I'm keep it moving on though, man. We're gonna do a slice of history, all right, man. So there's a lady on TikTok. Her name is Fine Ass Slim Jim, man. GEM. I'm sure that's for Gemini. But I had hit her up in her message and let her know that I was watching her and she was giving us a whole bunch of game. And obviously, from what you can see on the screen, these are some black facts you probably didn't know. Slavery edition, right? Um, so obviously this is part 17, and she has a whole segment, or excuse me, series of this thing. But I just wanted to share this with you guys, and then we're gonna go ahead and have a conversation about this. So
Black facts you probably didn't know. Slavery edition. Part 17. Let's keep running it. Slaves used cornrows to transform maps and create escapes. Yes, escape routes. They would literally braid their hair back into different styles and, leave let the owners think that it was just a hairstyle, but in reality, it was an escape route to get up out of there that they done came up with, okay? Because, they wasn't able to use pen and paper, so they had to use braids. They had to work with what they had, and they did a good job, okay? Period. President Grant was the last president to own a slave, y'all. Yes, President Grant. He really didn't want slaves, but his father-in-law gifted him a slave for, I guess a gift for his birthday or some shit. And yeah, that's why he had one slave. It's just crazy to me that you can give a slave a gift. Like that's a gift back then. Like that's crazy to me. Enslaved people used to work from 16 to 18 hours a day, y'all. And this is why I will never get over slavery, y'all. I don't care. I'm gonna
so should we get over slavery?
What did you say?
Should we get over it?
Well, seeing as how it's still existing with the prison system and with racism and oppression, I don't know how we would. I would love for us as a people to be able to. And I don't want to say, you always got to be aware, if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. You're doomed to end up getting trapped again and put into another. And we talking about antebellum slavery. I don't know if there's any getting over that. I don't think that we should continue to let it affect us. But then again, they talk about depression and things like that being moved through your DNA. So I don't know if we really have any control over it. But I do think that you have to remember, you have to know it was not a choice, Kanye. That's a difficult question. I don't think that we should be hindered today by what happened, but you should hold it true to you and make the best decisions not to end up in that situation again.
So what's crazy to me is,
and we need reparations immediately. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna ask you a question on that as soon as I say this. What's crazy to me about that is we talk the way the image that they put out on us is like, oh, these dudes was dumb, or like Kanye said, it was a choice. or they didn't know nothing because they couldn't read and write and all this other
We
shit.
taught them to read and write. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about who got caught in the mountains. Let's talk about who
with
came out
the
as
animals,
absolute
who was sleeping with
savages.
the
You
pigs,
know what
who
I'm
had the
saying?
pigs for the
Exactly.
kids.
With each other, lost all your melanin, lost your eye. Your eye color changed because you recessive genes. Let's talk about it.
What's it, the
However,
bubonic
when
plague?
y'all came out of that dang on cave, who taught you how to read and write and be civilized? How to eat when you don't do that. We're not
They
gonna
definitely changed our language, man. But that's another story. We gonna have
exactly,
to have a whole nother show. Don't just leave
exactly.
me hanging when I'm in your inbox. You better come. But
Hey, bring
anyway,
it. Let's talk about him.
but so yeah, I'm like, okay, we sitting here talking about they can't read, they can't do this, but these people was making a map with braids. Like they using their hair to make a map about how they gonna get up out of here, bro. Like what?
If you think about most of the stuff that was invented, who did it? The things that we use today. You had somebody who was like a heart surgeon who also made peanut butter. Like talk about the scope of what we're thinking and what this is why I
And then
love.
who took the credit and was like, yeah, go in there. Okay, you made a good chair. Go in there and make some more. This is my chairs now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now they name on the chair. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
You know, and they didn't just do it to us. They did it to Nikola Tesla. They stole everything from him. I think he was broke as hell when he was alive. You know what I'm saying? He didn't see the fruits of his labor for real. So anytime you find somebody who's a genius, most of them are so fixated on their work, not the money. You find somebody who sees the money aspect, takes complete advantage of them, trademark, patent, and all that stuff they're not telling nobody about, and they end up making a ton of money off of everybody else.
It's sad. I mean, you even think about all these banks and stuff like that was loaning us out. You know what I'm saying? Putting insurance funds on us and shit. It's like, okay, so what happens when y'all free the slaves? Who got all that money? And we
Oh, let's
know
just
who
talk
got all
about
that
even
money.
more recent. Let's talk about sundown towns. You know, which
Oh,
a lot of people seem to think, because like, let me tell you something. Anna, Illinois, ANNA, ain't
Ain't a
what is
nigga,
it?
ain't a nigga
Nigga around.
allowed.
Or somebody say, yeah.
Yeah.
So Anna, Illinois, and places like that, you had a lot of places where Black people owned land. We owned land. And then they made it a sundown town and made all those people vacate. They were all displaced, like thousands. And you want to talk about reparations? You can at least start there. We can trace the names of those people who owned that land and it was stolen from them and they were kicked out. Their ancestors deserve all that.
We
Give
could
them
trace
back
it
their
back to
land.
we could trace it back to Chase Bank. Like, you know what I'm saying?
All of it. You know what I'm
And
saying? Black Wall Street everywhere. And there was more than just one place like that. So for me, when people have that thing about reparations, well, how will we figure it out? Very easily. What you stole, start giving that back. And for the
start giving
people who were brought over, their people were brought over on ships, we figure it out. Because I don't know how you add a monetary value to it, but I would be more game for them to give us land outright. I don't owe you no taxes. I'm not never, and leave me alone. Because a lot of people, Black people, are going to only go and spend the money right back with white people. You got Jewish people whose money spends in their neighborhood amongst their businesses 3 or 4 times before it ever leaves out.
or they
But
invest
with
in that
us, the
because they
first
know
thing
we
we do
going.
is run to everybody else to spend money. We don't buy from each other. We don't support each other. So I don't think that money would actually be the best thing
We
for the
definitely need
majority of
land.
us.
We
Give
definitely
them
need, like you
land.
said, we're gonna need our chickens. We're
Give
gonna
them
need our
property.
cows. Fuck y'all
Absolutely.
AI. Big facts. Because if I ain't got y'all land, if I gotta live on y'all land, I need a Tesla robot. But if we gonna get our own land, we ain't bringing no Teslas to that bitch though. Y'all can keep that bitch.
No,
Yeah, y'all can keep
no.
that for sure, man. I'm. Because look, Tara. I'm on like this side of the fence of fuck these niggas, right? But I'm on this side of the fence, like we got to figure it out. But God said that everybody ain't gonna make it, so I
It
know
sure
the
did.
niggas ain't gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? So fuck them niggas, like you know. But we about to get out of here, man. We got about 5 minutes left. But before we get out of here, man, we got one last segment, man. We gonna talk about this parenting shit, man. I'm gonna try and keep it low. I'm gonna try and keep it light. Me and my kids, what they say in the comments, what they just say before I go on. I don't want to leave my homie back hanging. What do you say? I agree. If they gave us money, over half of us would be broke.
Exactly. The next day, whole bunch of Gucci, Versace, blah, blah, blah. That ain't finna do nothing. Kids won't have anything. Future generations, none of that. So yeah.
And yeah, we probably definitely spend on like Cadillac. What do you?
Man, weed, eyelashes, all of it.
We'll
All
make
of
them
it.
richer than fuck. And you know what's crazy is I heard that like if we was to come together as a community, the black people themselves, we spend like $2-3 trillion a year or something
Yep.
like that. And
Yep.
so we technically would be like the 8th richest continent or
Let me tell
country.
you something. If we all just for real got together, like when T.I. was trying to do that, if we all really got together on a Black Friday or a Cyber Monday and didn't spend no money, the hurt that they would feel and they would understand what the black dollar is. We might be able to get some negotiating going on
Yes.
because baby, we are way more powerful than we know. It hurts me so bad because people think ignorance is bliss, but it really holds us back. And when you try to educate most people, they don't want to hear it because they still want their Gucci bag. So it is what it is.
Man, it is. You know, real quick, back to the little conspiracy, man. There is a conspiracy with Jordan Weez, and BBL.
BBL.
You
Fact.
silly man. Nah, they did say that I guess it was like way back when like Death Row had just started. They was about to all come together and make like a black music, Death Row, No Limit. I think they had somebody else involved, but they didn't include Bad Boy yet because Puffy and Suge was still beefing or something like that. But they said Jay pretty much fucked up the whole shit, like you know what I'm saying. So
Jay-Z.
it's always it's always a nigga that's gonna bring us down, man. Like the whole Nat
Well,
Turner
I've
situation.
never said this about Jay-Z before in my life, but if Jay-Z is the reason that merger didn't happen, shout out to Hove. Because I'd be damned if I wanted No Limit a part of anything else. Oh
Oh,
my
you
God.
got No Limit fucked up. Oh, we gotta move on because
Listen,
you got No Limit fucked
hey,
up.
look, I love me some Fiend and some Mag, but come on, man. Except the Shaka, I should be able to sue Master P for bringing that shit out.
That
I
shit
was
was fire.
assaulted. Don't do that.
The Turn to the game was a fire ass CV.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
Nope.
Anyways, straight to ultimatums before we get out of here, man. So what's some ultimatums that you would give a child? I'm gonna do it like this. We're gonna do it like this. We're gonna speed through this one. All right. Turn the TV off. I want you to end this. And this I'm speaking for you, but this is you saying this to a child, but I want you to end this, all right? Child about to go to bed. Turn the
Which
TV off.
which kid we talking about? We talking about my oldest kid.
Oh, because you
On my
got
youngest,
grown.
because my youngest can do anything. I have no control over what Amaru does because he's
Okay,
my
well, this is
baby.
ultimatum. This is ultimatum. So I'm looking for it because you're different. Okay, your youngest. Let's do youngest.
Oh
Since you
Lord,
doing everything. All right. Turn the TV off or
just don't make any noise. You know, I'm just
oh,
quietly. I'm telling you, that's my rule. Okay, I have to really talk about any of the other three because Amaru is different. He's like,
okay.
okay, so
Give me the other three at a younger age. We're gonna take it.
there aren't any, there is no ultimatum. You're gonna turn the TV off. It's not or. And so when I talk, even with Rue, I joke, he gets away with more than everybody else. But with Rue, turn the TV off because you got to go to school tomorrow. So turn the TV off. And he turns off, yes, ma'am. You know, give me hugs and kisses, good night. I don't do ultimatums because you're not grown, you pay no bills here. Now, if you get old enough as a teenager, like my son tried me, he got kicked out. It's very easy. If you don't want to follow the rules here anymore, you need to get out because you will not live with me and disrespect me and not follow the rules in my house. And I feed you and clothe you. We're not doing that.
I like that. I like that. She ain't having that shit.
No.
So then, because I'm more like turn the TV off, or I'll go outside and turn the power off in that bitch. You won't have no power in that motherfucker.
Why would
That's
you have to do all of that? Like, look, turn the TV off. Or you okay?
sometimes because see, sometimes you might have a long day. Everybody got to be in their room. Y'all chill. Have it off by 9. You know what I'm saying? They try and sneak. You got shit to do. They trying to sneak. Turn on the TV. You know what I'm saying? You gotta really take the whole TV up out of there sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Off
take
the
the TV
wall.
out. Like, how big
Yeah.
is the TV? I can go and grab the little 32-inch real quick. But if I tell you to turn it off and you sneak and do it again, then I'm gonna take the remote. Because what you gonna do then? I'm
All
gonna
right.
keep the work down. Or here's the best thing that you can do for real. Like my daughter did when she went to college. They told her to drink. You know, it was her freshman year. She knew better. She had a couple of drinks and got so sick. My baby called me and apologized to me. I didn't know she drank. How the hell I'm gonna know? I'm at home. She called me feeling so guilty, apologized, and swore up and down she'd never do it again because she was tore up from the floor up for 2 days. Sometimes you just gotta learn. So
You
if
gotta
you want to
clean
stay up
yourself.
all night, watching TV, guess what? You still gonna get up and go to school though. So
man,
you are
had
going
to
to
bring you
learn
up
what
at
it's
6.
like. Yeah, you're going to learn what it's like to be sleep deprived at school. And you are going to make the decision not to do it again. But it wouldn't get that far. My kids listen to me.
I like that. Well, so then, okay, well, outside, we outside. Act like you got some sense, or
Like, okay, I'm gonna say this real quick. We went to my Jate, she is 20 now. She can be 21. She was 5 and AJ was 8. My younger two didn't exist yet, right? We went to Applebee's. The waiter came over afterwards and said, "Can I give your kids some suckers?" They were so good. These kids are always so bad. Your kids were well behaved, well mannered. I said, "Yeah, sure, and thank you so much." She looked at my kids and said, "How does your mommy get you to be so good?" Jate was 5 years old. She said, "My mama crazy." Thank you. So even though I've never had to whoop her, Tay was I think she got one spank in her whole life. There is something about me that people just understand that's not the one, and including kids. I say, look, little crazy, recognize big crazy. Don't do it. You don't want it. So when she said that to him, he started laughing. I was like, oh my God, he gonna think I'm just like throwing these kids out the windows now. No, you don't have to get in trouble to understand. I have that voice. Stop playing with me. Do what I said. Yeah, I don't want to have to scream and and then my youngest charge
some
you if you
women
curse
don't
in front
got
of
that.
them.
Some women need a man up.
Listen, I ain't have to yell at my son when I told him to get out. It was a very factual statement. Get out of my house. Pack
Easy,
your
huh?
stuff and get out. Like, you don't have to. And like I said, my youngest, Amaru, charges $1 for every curse word. So there really is no yelling and fussing and cussing and stuff.
Well, that's
It's just
dope.
do it.
That's dope. That's dope. I need to start that for myself. I'll probably be rich. I cuss way too much. I'm gonna work on that. I am, dog. I'm gonna
I
work
don't
on
want
that.
that. I know that, everybody else curses, and I'm sure these kids don't, but I don't want their influence on cursing to come from me.
Man, I think mine's definitely got it because they be cussing. I'll be like, what did you just say? But then I know I just said something crazy. Like, I know I've been saying shit crazy their whole life. Like, their whole life. I know. Like,
Like,
I
you
tell
see
you,
the reels of the babies, and they be like 2 years old talking about bullshit, and I'm like, you should feel terrible as a parent. I would
I do.
cry in a corner if my child was out there cursing at that age.
I mean, now one thing I will say, like for instance, my son, he about to be 8 in January, man. He be playing the game, and so he might be like, "What the fuck?" And I'll be
Oh
like, "What
my
you
God.
say?" But I'm a gamer myself, so I'll be down this bitch cussing. So
See,
I know he be picking up, like, you know what I'm saying. So I gotta chill out, man. Like, I can't tell
you
him not.
need to chill out.
Yeah, I gotta chill out, man. So, but yeah, so last one, man. You in the car, 8-year-old nephew, son, niece, whatever. Car seat belt or
I'm gonna throw you out this moving car myself. We ain't got to wait for the accident. Keep playing. But again, when I get in the car, I say seatbelts, everybody, before I take off to make sure that. But yeah, no, let me pop this door real quick because you clearly don't want to be in the car. And let's throw you out on the highway. See how you fare.
hey man. Well, listen, man. Again, man, I do want to thank you for coming on, Miss Tara, man. Where can they find you at, and what you got for the people, man, that you can give to the people? Maybe some words of encouragement, how you can help them. I don't know, something.
Words of encouragement. I would say be good to yourself and be kind to others. And you can find me on YouTube at Opinionated Sense, and you can find me on all streaming platforms on One Man and One Woman, the podcast.
Amen, man. Shout out to you, One Man, One Woman podcast. Or ain't that what it was? One Man, One Woman, right?
One Man and One Woman, the podcast. You know what? The next time I come on your show, I also want to talk to you about my theory on segregation.
So we're gonna rock out then. So I do got another slot for you. Sweet, man. I'm happy about that, man, because it's tough rocking with you. But I'll be in your inbox for sure, man. And look, people, my words of encouragement is always just keep your head up and keep moving. You know, I do want to let you guys know that we'll be here every Sunday, rocking out 9 p.m. Eastern with or without somebody, man. We're gonna talk about this shit because there's a lot to be discussed. I do want to shout out my moderator, man, my brother, man, from another mother, man, my nigga that kept me rolling this whole time when I wanted to get a fuck up. Shout out to my brother DC, man, with What the Shit podcast. Also, shout out to the homie Court, man. Y'all got to go check out the court report, man. I know it come on every Tuesday, but I'm just not sure where. But I'll have him on. We'll talk about
It'll be
that.
live every Tuesday. Sorry, I ain't mean to put in. Go ahead.
If he didn't scare me sounding like a whole demon, oh my God, my soul, Lord. Oh Lord. I'm like, boom, then talk these motherfuckers out the ocean. Woo, that took me. I ain't gonna hold you. Man. Oh my
Shout out to the
God.
Report Report. Hey, what the shit every Wednesday, 8:15. Y'all can find me over there as well, man. 8:15 on Fresh Zone, man. It's a Twitch. Go look up what the shit on Facebook, man. Just type it in, Google it. You're gonna find that shit, man. Like I said, we here every Sunday, 8, 9 o'clock Eastern. You know, we're just gonna be talking that shit again. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Keep your head up and keep moving. Miss Michelle, thank you so motherfucking much. Stay knowledgeable, lady. Keep doing your thing, man. And we the fuck out of here.